Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer. It is time for some talk about Path of Exile, and specifically a little project that I wanted to ask for some community help on. The Blight League brought 18 new Divination cards, and of these, we don't really know where they're dropping as yet as a community. The Path of Exile wiki has very little information, or none, and me personally, I've only seen 2 of these cards drop, and I've only got credible reports of the drop location of one of the others. So what I'm looking for some information on is if you've seen any of these Divination cards drop, and they've come from a context where you couldn't get any Divination card. So what I mean by that is if you open a stack deck, you can get any Divination card, including things like, say, for instance, the bargain, even if you're in an area that couldn't normally drop the bargain. So if you've had one that's dropped from a monster, or if it's dropped from some sort of chest, something like that, I'm interested in hearing about it. So the Divination cards I'm looking for information on, I'd prioritise the ones that have bigger payoffs, so the cards that are more expensive, but I'm interested in all the information anyway. So there is the Mountain, there is More Is Never Enough, the Bargain, the Deal, the Damned, the Old Man, the Skeleton. I've seen this one myself, I can't remember where unfortunately. The Wolf's Legacy, Vile Power, which I've seen, but I've also had reports of it dropping in different zones. My one dropped for me in a Toxic Sewer map, and that map happened to be Shaper influenced. I've heard reports of one dropping in the Bowels of the Beast, I believe it was, in the leveling content. And I've also heard someone say that they've had it drop in the core map when that map was Shaper influenced. Now, there's possibility that it drops from Shaper influenced maps. There's also all sorts of possibilities here. So, you know, I'm really not sure where this drops. Just got a few anecdotes, compile them, and that's how we start to get how we can start to form our hypothesis as to where it drops. Then there's Void of the Elements. So those are the 10 that were listed in that thread. Then there's Remembrance. I'm particularly interested in this. I think it'll be a lot of fun to turn in a bunch of these. The Heroic Shot. I have heard from several people that these drop from Arcanus Strongboxes. So I'd like to see that on camera. But for the moment, I am inclined to believe that this probably does drop from Arcanus Strongbox. Aziron's Reward. We have the Demon, which is the one that people ask the most about. I have had no credible information about where this drops. Every single one of them that I've heard of on the market has come from a stacked deck in the Blight League. I would personally suspect the most likely drop location, especially considering the art, is that it might drop from Katava-themed bosses, but that is just me making personal speculation. There's no evidence that I'm right. There's the Price of Loyalty, the Divination card that I submitted, and there's the Eye of Terror. Have no idea where these drop. And then finally, there is Akel's Prophecy for a Fated Unique item. No idea where that drops. And there is Nook's Crown, which I've heard from several people drops from the Mastermind fight of the Syndicate. So there's 18 new Divination cards. There's about 4 that we have some serious information on. There's a lot of questions left out there. After your help in perhaps trying to solve where these cards drop from, if you got any information, definitely ping it in the comments below. And particularly if you're the sort of person that plays with screen record and you get one of the massive drops, say, if you have a demon drop for you, then I'd really love to see that on camera. Anyways, that's all I got for this one. I hope I can get some help from people and then can get some credible information, which can then be used to update the Path of Exile wiki at a later date. That's all. Have a good one.